And welcome to Parks O'Plenty. And we're starting off with me fixing something that's been bugging me ever since the last episode. I wanted something in this pool, and I threw a buoy out there, and that just bugged me. So what I decided to do is grab these dancing fountains and install them on the surface of the water instead. Ooh, Enterprise is ready. Okay. Now, what we've been doing is, we're still waiting for wooden roller coasters to be available. And we've been researching various thrill rides to kind of bump up the appeal of the park. Because I think the numbers show that we have a very popular park. People love it, but we were kind of hurting in terms of satisfaction for the thrill seekers, because let's face it, a lot of people come to the park specifically for the thrills. If you were just, wanting to kind of move down the street and look at interesting things, you could do that on your way to school. So, we needed more. Now, with that said, we've been having a bit of a money issue, right? And I got it somewhat stabilized because, I got it stabilized, but now we're trying to build up, and that's where these thrill rides are also coming in, because they're exciting. You can charge a little more for them and kind of beef up our bottom line here. And the Enterprise is a classic. It's not the one with Captain Kirk in it, but it is a classic, very popular one. That's why it is a classic. Basically, you got this spinning wheel with these little carts, and the wheel will eventually kind of lift up, and the carts will basically spin with centrifugal force. So one of the things I like about it, though, is the carts are covered. So this is a good all-weather ride, because people, it's not like they have glass windows or anything, but they will definitely be a lot drier on this ride than some of the other rides I have. So there we go. Now let's see. What I want to do is I want to keep the queue lines together, and I need 9 queue tiles, so that works, and then the exit's right there. Let me replace the lamp. This one was already missing, and I just killed one with the exit, so let's restore light, that part of the park. And this queue line will be 9 squares. 9 times 3 is 27, so that should pretty much be a full load for each round. Let's replace the light post we killed. And let's put this in test mode so that we know what we're working with, so we can charge. And meanwhile, while that's running, while it's cooking, we'll go ahead and start decorating this nice. I like using these white curbs. Kind of highlight the fence, better definition. Now you can see how the Enterprise is working there. Those little carts are being spun with centrifugal force, so that they're spinning now completely upside down at the top. Now, I've told you I don't like the spinny ride so much. This one I like, especially because you're facing forward. It's not so much that you're spinny. It's kind of like being in a loop-de-loop all the time. And then as the ride goes up and the ride goes down, you transition from loop-de-loop to just kind of a swing, right? And yeah, and the ring is big enough, so it really doesn't concentrate the G-forces. So 61, wow, that's $12 right there. So good, we can $12 is nice. Let's go ahead and light up the queue space. and I can kill that off. Let's do the numbers. So what are we looking at? Oh. Okay, so what do we look at? January. So concessions are strong, but we have a huge outlay of supplies. So overall, not great. Ride admissions aren't bad, and park admissions are up. That's nice. But our operating profit of almost zero. I mean, it's barely there. So, but we spend a lot of money on construction, so we're down in the hole. But look at this. Happiness is high. Immersion is almost as high. Thirst is still our biggest problem. People love the scenery. Of course, they love the scenery. And people are jazzed about all sorts of stuff. Had a great time. Want to go on the rides. Fries are worth the money. Okay, good. Want to go on Revolution. Blah, blah, blah. Park entrance fee is a good deal. Interesting. We got a red face. I'm not paying that much for Lafayette's return. One red face in the whole shebang. So that's pretty good. I mean, this is the thing, right? The fundamentals are there and we're delivering on them. The problem is that really for parks, you really need one or more major attractions. And in a park, the major attraction is, of course, a roller coaster. Now we got one and it's okay, and now we've been doing this research for so long, I can make pretty much any coaster you can think of except a wooden roller coaster. And so if I wanted to make this into like a Six Flags Uber Park or a Cedar Fair or something, I could do that, and we would, it's basically a license to print money at that point. But the goal of this park is an old-timey park. Now it's a modern version of an old-timey park, right? So we've got all the rides they didn't have back in the day, but and that's still our inspiration, old-timey New England amusement park. Obviously with living in the modern age. So the Enterprise is now kind of in line with us, and again, I can't, all these spinny rides, I don't have names that would match. So this one's got round in it, right? It's a shot heard around the world. That's supposed to be a reference to the Revolutionary War. And yes, it wasn't that the gun was that loud. It was really that the ramifications of that first shot made headlines around the world, right? Because it was a time for revolution. I mean, or the world was ripe for revolution. After the American Revolution, there was a French Revolution, and various other revolutions. It was the democracy movement. Anyway, so if we can basically build this roof to, you know what? Why am I building two separate roofs? What I really should do is I should combine them under one roof, like this. Consolidate. I mean, it's still two separate queue lines. They're definitely divided. But it doesn't have to look like that on the outside. Okay. I'm looking at the ride I named the Industrial Revolution. That's still a very cool looking ride. It seems to be pretty popular too. So whoever came up with that, I mean, it's a real ride, right? Not the Industrial Revolution. That ride, I forget what it was called. Like whatever, Clockwork, I think is what it's called. And yeah, I put a link to it last time on the episode page on my website. I'll do it again this time so that you can read about it. It's very, very interesting. Getting there. Alpine coaster, powered coasters next, and turkey legs are next. Okay. So you know, if you are interested in amusement parks, if you're interested in this type of stuff, you really should spend some time online reading about the history of some of these various rides and stuff, and where their inspirations came from, and the advancement of various materials and stuff. It's very, very interesting. Now, we're, you know, we added the Enterprise, so that's going to be a net add. Now, the Twister has kind of had mixed reactions from customers over the years. So what I want to do is I'm going to close it, but we're not going to just close it. We're going to let everybody have a last ride, and then we're going to kill it. But I'm not going to kill it. I'm going to move it, right? I think we can make the Twister more exciting and put it over here, and you know, improve upon it, because again, if you like the spinny rides, this is not radically different than the teacups, though. I think hanging like that gives it a smoother ride that I think people appreciate. So let's keep it. Let's just improve upon it. And something else I've been thinking about is improving things for the weather, right? So the Enterprise is a good all-weather ride, but you can see the rides that aren't marked in green, yeah, people don't like riding them in the rain. I wonder why, right? And I think we can maybe do something about that, but like build an enclosure or something. But let's take a look at the numbers. It's February, so it's definitely off season. Concessions are down, but supplies aren't killing us this time. But look at the ride admissions. Holy moly. That's sweet. And that brings us back up into some respectable territory for operating profit. And since I didn't do a lot of construction, we got to keep a good chunk of that profit. And customers are still pretty jazzed, which, thank God. And okay, people want to go on Shot Heard Around the World. Scenery's still amazing. Great time. 5 people think the sub sandwich is worth the money. Well, with those types of numbers, I think the message is clear. $4.50. You know, it's not gonna give us the funds to build a new roller coaster, but that every little bit helps. I have one red face again, right up Paul Revere. No, he said Lafayette's returned last time. So okay, so he's moving around the park and complaining about each ride. But yeah, okay, this is good. I mean, this is what it's all about, right? If you just wanted to make it into an art project, you know, put in essentially creative mode, money's no object, and just go for it. But we want to make sure that there's consequences to our decisions and our actions. So let's kill this. Oh, he was working on it, and now he's kind of like moonwalking without moving his legs. Okay, let's bring Michael Jackson back to earth here, and let's see what we got going here. So they're cleaning up, so we don't know what's next. Powered coasters here. Okay, so you see, I have the kind of like this weird dog leg space I want to use. And where's the Enterprise? Oh, I mean Twister. So we want to fill this up. So that nestles in there really nice. I mean, Tetris style. Yeah, okay. And then we'll build a queue building next to I forget the name of the ride next to it. I forgot both the name I gave it and the name it normally has. Okay, so if we put the entrance here, we'll put the exit 2 over, and then this ride, how many does it hold? holds 18. So I need 6 Q tiles. Turkey legs are available. Good. Okay, so 6. Right? So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we need regular path tiles. This will be both to connect the queue to the main path and the exit to the main path. And there we go. And then we'll cover that with a building. And let's get this going so that we can see what the test results are. And let's see. Yeah, let's go with the curbing first. Very nice. Now we need to go this way. Huh. Can't really see in there all that great, but okay. Fences. Oh, screwed up on the curbing here. Okay, now fences. And the beauty of working this in tight like this, kind of like Tetris blocks, is that we don't have to worry about all the different sides, right? Some of the sides already have blocks or whatever to define spaces and buildings and decorations. So, yeah. I forgot to add these when I combined Q buildings, and I got to take the old ones out from the middle because that's now all part of the same building, not the end. Okay. So then over here, we'll go ahead and okay, what I need to do is I need to capture these arches and build the usual Q building, Q style that we've had for this park. And it's been a while since I mentioned why, but we use these arches because the game simulates a real element of amusement parks, which is visibility. I didn't have this on test. Okay. The visibility is important because when people see something that's interesting, they're attracted to it. They're excited by it. So we want to make sure that people can see stuff. Speaking of see stuff, let's see. So concessions are okay. Expenses aren't bad. But ride admissions, that is sweet. Very sweet. Park admission. So look at this. We're now making overall progress, right? And customers are still happy, right? They're happy, they're immersed. So now we're starting to fire 43 people. The scenery here is amazing. 11 people had a great time. 10 people are broke. Sorry, don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'm not paying that much for Revolution. So this guy's working his way to the middle of the park. And then we can see sub sandwiches. Can't afford it. So we might be hitting a limit there. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so, you know, you want to make sure that stuff's not hidden. Now, I mean, we kind of moved Twister to a place that's not visible, but it is right up against two different ride queues. So while people are standing in line for one ride, they're watching Twister happen, right? And that's kind of what this is all about. So when we have queue lines with these arches, while people are standing in line, they can see the park around them and they can get ideas for their next ride. Or in real life, when they're tired of waiting, they can leave the line and go to that other ride, right? Because this game doesn't really simulate the reality of theme park rides well, right? Which is really, really popular rides have really, really long lines that people stand in, and of course they snake throughout the park. Sometimes they cause traffic flow problems. In fact, some places where the lines are always really long, like at Disneyland, like around Space Mountain and Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, you know, they've taken measures, like in the case of Pirates of the Caribbean, they actually have set up a place for like intersections where people can pass through the line without being blocked, right? Because otherwise it impedes traffic. And that's a real consideration. And when you're in lines that long, people often will change their mind, right? Get out of the line and go do something else, or not go at all. Maybe they'll see the line for Star Tours and say, "Oh, forget that. I'm going to go on It's a Small World for the 14th time." So we'll call this one the Minuteman. Again, it has absolutely nothing to do with Minutemen, but it's kind of cool. Minutemen were, of course, colonial militia that when the call came out, they could be ready within a minute, which is pretty good, actually. I don't think they actually have 4 colors on this one. No, there's the 2, but we can make the lights match. So, like this. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I've kind of resigned myself that I can't keep coming up with names that perfectly match the ride. We're going to have to just kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And, let's face it, there is a lot of marketing based on that, right? They have a product that has a name that has absolutely nothing to do with what the product does, but it sounds good. Now, something I've been thinking about, like I said, is trying to kind of like enclose some of these rides so that they'll be more popular or even supportable during bad weather. And kind of what I've been thinking, I mean, this isn't a 1920s park. It might have started that way, but it's in the modern era. So maybe we can take and build an enclosure around them. Now, in the case of Twister here, it doesn't go up or down, so we can build an enclosure that perfectly matches the queue building. But for some of these other rides, I think what we need is maybe a glass enclosure, right? So now at the back in the Vegas Strip, back in the day, they had an amusement park at the MGM Grand. I don't know if it's still there. I don't think so. It might be. I don't know. I try to avoid Vegas if at all possible, and it's been years since I went. But they had a big indoor amusement park. But when I say indoor, it's because it's really freaking hot there in the summer. But it had the ceiling was mostly glass. It was kind of like a big dome type thing. So maybe that's what we can do here, right? Is build an enclosure that is predominantly glass. I mean, some of these other rides, they're just too big. But I think for the Industrial Revolution and this other one, we could do that. I think it's feasible. And that would help them during bad weather. So concessions are okay. But, ride admissions are holding strong, improving slightly. Again, another operating profit in the green and over 1,000. Even with the construction, it's almost 1,000. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to pay the bank back a little bit. I'm sure they appreciate it. And we've got, for now, no roller coaster to spend it on. So The Giga Coaster's coming, and currently working on mini donuts. So let's change this to thrill rides, and let's press on. So happiness, like we've seen this, right? There's not going to be a huge spike up. Scenery is amazing, thank you. 10 had a great time, thank you. 3 people are saying. Now that's interesting. I know I have one cheap. Yeah, there he is. The one cheapskate there at the bottom. He doesn't want to pay that much for any ride, but 3 people for Shot Heard Around the World. It's $12, so let's knock it to 11. See if that doesn't make him feel better. I mean, it's been bringing in money. I mean, clearly people are riding it. Clearly they're paying full price, but it's unusual to see that many people complain about the price. So, okay. So if I'm gonna do the glass, ooh, I love those walls. We talked about those before. That's from the most recent DLC, and that is some pretty cool stuff there. But I think there's just regular glass walls, see? And what we can do is, so, you know, we want the glass walls because of that does the enclosure, but it doesn't block the view, and we want people to have that view. We want the light to come in, and we want people to see what's going on. Drive curiosity, drive you know, more customers into the line. Now, I don't think that's tall enough, but it's close. So maybe if we put the roof on it, that will be enough. Oh, that matching roofs. Cool. So is this it? No, that's kind of a piece taken out of the corner. I just want a regular squared off corner. Oh, there we go. And a half slope. That'll work. So bring it up. Now, this is a glass wall. I don't want it to be just glass. What I want to do is then set up the glass and then add some type of frame structure, right? Because that's how it would probably be in real life. It wouldn't just be a big greenhouse. It would be glass supported with like some type of thick steel frame. Ooh, kids are passing their heads right to the glass. So, it's not quite high enough. Make sure I get the glass and not something else. So I think if we just nudge the wall a little higher, that should be enough. Or if there's a half wall, I think that would be. Oh, mini donuts are up. Okay. Okie dokie. So if we go back to the glass walls and look for the half wall, you know, I was there we go. Hightail came out yesterday, and I was playing that, and while I was building my avatar, they have a huge number of different choices, so much so they actually have a filtering mechanism you can use to go through the choices, and I really appreciated that. And it's a TV program about Heard Around the World. Good. I really appreciated that. I would love to see a feature like that in games like this, right? Because if I could search on glass wall or something, that would be awesome. But I love the look of these walls. So if I change him to just kind of like a classic black, right? And then I don't think I have any others. Now I can put these with the glass wall, right? So the glass is actually forming the complete barrier, but then this thing is reinforcing that barrier, right? Actually, this has a lip on it. I don't want the lip to point outwards. I want it to point inwards. So let's take these down and point it the other way. Like that. Okay. So then we can continue this around. I was kind of hoping they had a half wall version of this, but it doesn't look like they do. But what we can do is we can set it up so it doesn't go all the way up, right? So if we move this over, let's take the finances first. So now we're entering into the proper season. It's May, right? So concessions are okay, but ride admissions are solid, right? We've stabilized that, and it's leading to consistent operating profits. Now in this case we did a lot of construction, so very little net profit, but it's okay. We're making improvements and we're being able to pay for it. Scenery's great, had a great time, people want to go on the rides. This is what we're... Sub sandwich is really worth the money. Oh, okay. This is good. This is really good. What are my choices? I got more choices. I got mini donuts. I got sub sandwiches. I still need a new drink choice. What I'd really like, I don't know if they have in this game. I don't think so, but what we want is like drink vendors we could just put out in the middle of the park. You know, if you go to a modern park, they have like not even a kiosk. It's like a little wheeled stand that sells drinks in the park. So anyway, this is now up a little more. Of course, it overlaps a lot with the wall below it. Let's kind of kill the overlap a little bit. Change the spacing. Like this. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. Now if we put our glass roof back in place, it shouldn't clip any riders in the head. At least that's the hope. You know, as things go, if you're going to bump your head, I think you'd much rather bump your head on, like, you know, a branch with leaves on it than, say, a glass, you know, a glass wall or something. Especially because, you know, even if you break the branch, it's probably not lethal. If you break a glass wall with your head, that could potentially be lethal. I don't see anybody passing through the half slopes. And I'm guessing nobody will pass through these top pieces. So there you go. Now we need a framework on top. So this is just a good old-fashioned framework. Nothing particularly clever about that. And they have a half slope frame that we can use. Like so. And there we go. I think it looks good. And it's going to be a lot more popular in bad weather. I don't think it really clashes. I really don't think it clashes at all with the rest of the park or our theme, right? Because some of the old-fashioned shopping malls and stuff would have big wrought iron framework filled with glass. So basically, we want to take what we did over there and do it over here for the Industrial Revolution. I think this is a pretty cool model, actually. Now, I'm not going to try to cover all the rides. I mean, some of them are just too big anyway, and some of them will just... Oh, Giga Coaster's labeled. Good. So maybe we'll start working on the wooden roller coaster. Maybe. Also, I'm not entirely sure I'll fill this one with glass, right? I might just... I will definitely need to put glass on the roof. We're going to protect the customers from the rain, but... I'm not entirely sure that I need to fill in the walls. So let's take a look at the numbers. So now we are definitely in the season, right? So 664, but almost all of it was canceled by supplies. So we made like $4 profit. But ride admissions hit $3,000, which between the two of them, that wasn't really great, but there you go. Now, we got the Giga Coaster. We don't know what's coming after that. We inverted double swing. Okay, I'm not entirely sure I know what inverted double swing is. Scenery's great. Had a great time. People want to go on the ride. Sub sandwich. I'm telling you, they're telling me it's still a bargain. And I love giving people bargains, but especially, oops, I don't want to leave that hanging. Especially with the way things are going right now, I love profits more, right? Like I guess this whole conversation around, you know what? I didn't see a single red face in that whole thing. The conversation around publicly traded companies with shareholders and boards that are primarily concerned about returns on investment, and family-run companies where the idea is provide a great service or product to the customer at a fair price, and it's all about the sustainability of that model and the business over time. That's really, that's where I'm at, right? I don't have any shareholders to worry about. 32 guests who prefer low-intensity rides. Well, we'll see how that plays out. That's really like my cup of tea. Building for the long term. And I think this should make it high enough. It's going to be close, but if I put a roof on like I did with the last one, I think this will work. Oh, speak of the devil, right? So this is exactly why we're doing this. So let me grab the glass, and I will just cover it. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and put half slope pieces in. It's kind of hard to figure out where I'm putting this at this point. Okay, there we go. And then we need the corner pieces. Okay, it's much better. Then we'll put the frames up. Okay, the weather's improving. Now that the weather's passed, I think I want to put this a little higher so people aren't bumping their heads as they're passed through the glass ceiling. This is a little high. I'm kind of committed at this point. I'm gonna go for it, but this is kind of what I was trying to avoid. And as bad as this one is, it would be way worse to try to put the Enterprise or one of the others into something like this. Sorry, not Enterprise. Shot heard around the world. Okay. As it's spinning up, I see that nobody's passing their head through it, so mission accomplished on that one. Now, of course, you know, in real life, if you had real paying amusement park customers passing that close to like a roof or something, they would probably do something stupid, like try to put gum or stickers on the wall as they pass by. I mean, just is maddening. But look at that. I mean, I think it looks good. I don't think it detracts. I think it kind of blends into what we're trying to do, and weatherproofs that. So now I still got this space down here. I got space up here. I'm gonna have to do something about this sooner rather than later, simply because you know, that is we're coming up on it, right? But now that I think we have a stable cash flow and it's slightly positive, I think we're in pretty good shape there, right? In fact, let's look at the numbers. So concessions are doing good, almost no supplies, so that works out. Ride emissions are still going strong, and that's with rain, right? Park emissions, fine, leading to a very robust operating profit, well, compared to historical numbers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually repay. I wonder. Let's pay even more, right? Let's pay 3,000. I mean, that almost taps out my bank account. That's a big chunk off my loan, though. That'll help with the interest. But I think we'll be okay because of the money we're bringing in right now. I mean, here's the basics, the fundamentals. We're doing good. Scenery's amazing. People had a great time. Blah blah blah. Everyone wants to ride on the rides or get something from the concessions. Sub sandwich is still a deal. I won't move on that at the moment. Okay, I was gonna say all the cheapskates are gone, but they're not. There's one out there still. Shot her around the world. So what is going on with that? So the excitement is 41. I grabbed the intensity number before. The excitement's 41. This should be an $8 ride, and only a couple people are complaining at $11. We'll make it 9 then. and see how that goes. So it's interesting. I made a mistake, but it kind of led to a realization that maybe I've been slightly undercharging on some of my rides. Yeah, put a pin in that one. Okay. So now I think there's a mod that you can apply that lets you walk through your park in the first person. And man, I can't get over how clean it is in terms of vandalism, right? There's nobody is upset. But I'm thinking I might grab that mod, especially for the final episode of this scenario, right? So once the park's all done, we might grab that mod and walk through the park in first person. But I'm wondering if it might be worthwhile to kind of occasionally somebody puked and nobody's cleaning it up. And it is the red spot in my immersion plan. So, okay. But I'm kind of wondering if it might not be worthwhile to do a tour before then. So let's grab our janitor. This is the entrance zone. So he's wandering around. He's level 6. So where is Stacy? Nowhere near where I need them to be. So we'll go ahead and pick them up. Drop them on the puke. That should take care of that. And of course I don't have a lot of money now because we paid most of it to the bank, so we just kind of run the clock out. But let's see what we can do up here, right? So these big frameworks, we could do something with them to liven them up, right? And I'm gonna check, see if there's some type of like what I'd like is like strings of lights, right? Not like Christmas lights, but like, you know, straight strings, like not quite neon either. Of course that'd be cool, but yeah, I mean, you've seen those like light bars of LEDs. That would be cool. I think this ball's too big for what I had envisioned, but I think we can shrink it, right? Yes, we can. So let's knock it down. There we go. I just want to kind of put some lights on the top. Like that. Right there. It is kind of nice not having to worry about like running wires to it or anything like that. Oh, it's a double swing sun. I've been doing a lot of base building in No Man's Sky lately, and of course that means I had to, some cases I had to, you know, you install something, then you got to run power to it. And it's a bit of a hassle. Fun. Group of vandals is roaming the park. Okay, I hate this. I hate these guys. So we'll pause them. I'll finish putting on these lights, and then we'll go bag us some vandals. Oops, I did not mean to do that. And there we go. So this is looking pretty good. Now we need to find these little rats. Oh, trash can's pretty full. Normally when you want to take out the trash, you don't sell it and then replace it, but you know, do what I can. So last time we had some pretty good luck up here at the front of the park in finding these little jerks. And wow, not one, not a sausage. So let's see. Wow, I'm starting to... Okay, see one right here. Hattie Dixon. Hattie Dixon, who is not a vandal. They're a litterer. It's almost as bad, but well, this guy is a vandal. He's also a litterer. So there, he's double out. See you, Nick. Okay. Oh. This one's interesting. It looks like he's got a hat on backwards and forwards. Yeah, look at that. I think there's two guys there, or two people. And I can click on Hattie, but I can't click on the actual vandal. I've never seen that before. Or maybe he's got, what is it? Schizophrenia? So, what do I do? What I can try doing is getting all the others. We'll come back to him. So, now I do kind of find it funny because, you know, I turned off the actual rides and I turned off the scenery. And so, we get rid of Danny. See you, Danny. Danny Johnson. I had a cousin, Danny Johnson. So you kind of just see people like floating around in the air, and sometimes, you know, they're floating upside down and stuff. It looks like there was an explosion, and we caught them like halfway through the explosion. Okay, Amelia. Really sad to see a girl go bad. Okay. So, and they broke the lamppost. I see another one broken over here. Usually it's a sign that there's a vandal nearby. And I'm not seeing anybody. How up here? Man! This is not normally that hard. There's one. Sorry, Dean. Oh, mean Dean. Let's see. This guy, Anthony. See you, Tony. That brings us down to 3. That's not good enough, though. If I can get down to 1, it'll clear things out. So maybe I can get 2, and it'll take care of my dual personality guy for me. But I don't see anymore. Oh gosh. So this is what I'm going to have to do. I think I'm going to have to just let it run and see if they show themselves. Meanwhile, look at that. He's spinning. The two people, the combo are spinning. You know, we'll look around here. See if we can catch one of the other ones. I don't know how I got 2 people combined like that. That's pretty wild. Keep coming back to this one. Make sure he's still there. Also looking for signs of vandalism. Okay, that ride's slowing down. He'll be getting off in a second. There we go. Gotcha. You little jerk. Jared was hiding behind Hattie. Okay, Jared. You're out of here. Okay, if I can get one of the 2 remaining, then we'll be good to go. And I don't know why it says, oh, one's left close enough. Oh, there's a bent lamppost. Now, we just fixed these, so I'm guessing he's in the neighborhood. Let's fix this real fast. And let's check things out. Maybe the angle's wrong. They're all like hanging like bats. Let's see. There he is. This should, I mean, there's two left, but after I get rid of this one, that should clear it up. So if I turn it back on, there we go. Now I wonder if it removes that actual vandal or if it just transforms them back into a normal non-vandal. It's like they saw the light. It's like, okay, you got me. I give up. I'm changing my ways. Yeah, I don't think so. So, oh, that was the end of the month. And let's see. So, inverted double swing. Oh, that's pretty compact. Yeah, okay, we can definitely do something with that, but it looks like I'm out of time, so we'll have to put a pin in that one. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to place that yet, but that has potential. That's a good one right there. So August, toward the end of the season, doing well in concessions, doing well on rides. Admission's not great, so you know we've now seen that consistent operating profit. We paid a bunch of money, so that puts us in the hole quite a bit. But and you know the loan fees didn't go down because you pay those up front at the beginning of the month. So you can see that they've actually dropped $120 for September, which is what we want. Okay, so let's look at the peoples. 35 scenery is amazing. I had a great time for 12. Spinning nickel was awesome. I'm banned. Yes. See ya. I wouldn't have any red faces except for a couple of vandals that were upset about getting booted from the park. Well, you should have thought about that. But there we go. I mean, it was it went by fast. I don't know about you, but I feel it went by fast. And we made some progress. I mean, the big thing here is I think we're on a stable financial footing. Now, stable, right? We're not making money hands over fist, but we're not bleeding money anymore. And we're actually paying the bank. So hopefully, the thing that's just going to slingshot this thing is just getting access to the wooden roller coaster. That's what I need. But in the meanwhile, we've put up these cool glass and steel enclosures to get some of our throw rides out of the weather. And I think they're looking pretty good. So yeah, I'd say it was a successful run. But let me know what you think. I'd really like to hear from you. In the meanwhile, I hope you come back and see where this goes from here. And until that time, hold on. I just remembered. This is something that I did last episode. Oops. And I failed to see it. And when I was editing, I saw it. So there we go. Take that curb out. Yes, I know it's incredibly compulsive, but you know, I'm a incredibly compulsive guy. Anyway, I think that's it. Yeah. So as I was saying, make sure we can get this all in here. There we go. So as I was saying, you know, until next time, I hope this finds you and yours in good health, good spirits, and perhaps just a dash of good fortune. Cheers.